A lot of people take it for granted that deteriorating eyesight is simply something that comes with age, something you just have to live with and push through. You roll out of bed and your eyes feel gritty and tight. You find yourself squinting at a menu on the other side of the room while everything looks like a smear of color. Or you're behind the wheel at night and the headlights coming at you leave you half blinded, hands clenched tighter around the steering wheel than they used to be. But here's what's actually going on beneath the surface. What most physicians don't slow down long enough to explain to you properly. It isn't always just the natural wear and tear of getting older. The American Optometric Association is straightforward about this. Once you cross the age of 60, your eyes become considerably more vulnerable. Issues like chronic dry eyes, cataracts, macular degeneration, or even sudden blurry vision limited to one eye start appearing far more frequently. And the National Eye Institute has issued warnings that vision loss across the American population is accelerating faster than at any other point in documented medical history. What makes this situation particularly alarming is that the most critical damage tends to occur while you're sound asleep. At night, while you assume your body is winding down and rebuilding itself, your retina, that thin, light-sensitive layer lining the interior back wall of your eye, doesn't always receive the oxygen and nourishment it requires. The delicate photoreceptor cells responsible for delivering sharp, clear images to your brain start deteriorating quietly, gradually, and almost invisibly. By the time most people realize something is wrong, the damage is already well underway. So here's the question I hear from patients on a near weekly basis. Why does my vision keep getting worse? And is there a natural path forward that doesn't involve relying on costly prescriptions or going under the knife? Here's the uncomfortable reality. The majority of mainstream solutions, eye drops, updated lens prescriptions, even laser-based procedures, are designed to manage the symptoms, not to confront the actual source of the problem. And that's precisely why the eye care industry continues to generate billions in revenue every single year, while older adults remain trapped in a cycle of diminishing sight. A study featured in JAMA Ophthalmology in 2023 confirmed what researchers had already been piecing together for some time. Age-related retinal deterioration frequently begins with invisible changes occurring deep within the structure of the eye, oxidative stress, persistent low-level inflammation, and these processes are most aggressive during the night, at the very moment when your eyes should be performing their most thorough repair work. But here's where things get genuinely encouraging, and this is the piece I want you to hold on to. More recent scientific findings have revealed something truly worth paying attention to. Certain common fruits contain potent natural compounds that your eyes are essentially starving for during sleep. These nutrients have been shown to support the regeneration of damaged photoreceptor cells, enhance blood flow to the retinal tissue, and even decelerate the progression of macular degeneration, which remains the primary cause of central vision loss in adults over 60. Put simply, you may have real options for supporting clearer, sharper vision, naturally, safely, while your body rests, without picking up another prescription, without scheduling another consultation with a surgeon. And here's the detail that tends to catch people completely off guard. The top fruit on this list, one that's probably already sitting in your kitchen right now, contains a naturally occurring enzyme that research shows can interfere with one of the most destructive processes responsible for cloudy lenses and early cataract development. My name is Dr. Cenat, and I've spent years working alongside older adults who are committed to protecting and preserving their eyesight using evidence-backed natural strategies combined with conventional care. Today, I'm going to walk you through 7 fruits that research suggests can actively support overnight eye repair, and I'll show you exactly how to use them to get the most out of them. Before we get into it, I'd genuinely love to know where you're watching from. Drop your city or your country in the comment section below. We're cultivating a real worldwide community here. People who refuse to accept declining vision as something written in stone. One more thing before we begin, and please don't skip over this. Everything I'm sharing today is intended purely for educational purposes. It is not a replacement for personalized medical advice from a licensed professional. If you're experiencing any shifts in your vision, blurriness, or eye-related concerns of any kind, please consult a qualified eye care provider before altering your diet, starting any supplements, or changing your daily habits. Your vision is not something to take chances with. All right, let's count down from number 7. Number 7. Kiwi small, slightly fuzzy, and probably something you walk right past in the produce section without thinking twice. But for aging eyes, kiwi is genuinely impressive, and the science backs that up. Here's what's really happening. As the years accumulate, your retina, the part of your eye that captures incoming light and translates it into visual signals your brain can interpret, grows increasingly exposed and vulnerable. Oxidative stress builds up layer by layer. The cells begin to wear down, and then one day you're squinting to make out road signs, or headlights seem to burst into jagged spikes when you're driving after dark. Or you climb out of bed every morning and your vision doesn't fully sharpen for the better part of an hour. That's not simply aging, that's measurable cellular breakdown, and a growing body of research suggests it can be addressed. Kiwi is packed with two nutrients that eye researchers keep circling back to, lutein and zeaxanthin. Picture them as the eye's internal defense filters. They sit embedded in the layers of your retina, absorbing harmful blue light and delivering antioxidant protection as your eyes work through their nighttime restoration cycle. Beyond that, kiwi contains a distinctive combination of antioxidants alongside a modest amount of serotonin, which supports deeper and more restorative sleep. And deep sleep is when your eyes carry out their most essential repair work. The two benefits work hand in hand more closely than most people ever realize. The research here carries real weight. A study featured in the Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging found that older adults who ate 2 golden kiwis daily experienced measurable improvements in visual sharpness, along with noticeable reductions in morning dryness and eye irritation. 2 pieces of fruit. Tangible, documented results. How to use it. Keep it straightforward. Eat 2 golden kiwis, not green ones, roughly 1 hour before going to sleep. Golden kiwis carry a higher lutein content, produce less acid, and are gentler on your stomach late in the evening, which is important when quality sleep is the goal. And here's a detail almost nobody catches. Don't scoop all the way to the edge of the skin. That thin strip of flesh just inside the outer layer is loaded with caffeic acid, a highly concentrated antioxidant. Use a spoon to scoop the fruit and intentionally leave that inner border untouched. Something as unassuming as a kiwi, better low-light vision, less morning dryness, no pills, no procedures. Number 6, watermelon. If you've ever scratched your head wondering why your vision still feels thick and hazy an hour after waking up, this one deserves your full attention. As we age, the eyes lose moisture more rapidly. Circulation to the retina gradually fades. That reduced blood flow is a major driver of that stubborn morning fogginess that can take hours to clear, sometimes not clearing at all. Watermelon is composed of over 90% water, so the hydration benefit is easy to understand. But the research points to something considerably deeper. Watermelon is one of the most abundant dietary sources of lycopene, a powerful carotenoid antioxidant linked in observational research to reduced oxidative damage in retinal tissue and protective effects against age-related conditions, including cataracts and macular degeneration. Studies have also demonstrated that people who regularly eat watermelon tend to carry higher circulating levels of lutein and zeaxanthin, those same crucial vision nutrients we discussed with kiwi. And there's emerging evidence that certain compounds in watermelon support nitric oxide production and enhance peripheral circulation, which could translate to improved oxygen and nutrient delivery to the retina during sleep, precisely when your eyes need that nourishment most. How to use it. Enjoy 1 to 2 cups of chilled, seedless watermelon about 30 minutes before bed. Skip the salt entirely. Added sodium can elevate intraocular pressure, which the Glaucoma Research Foundation identifies as a serious and potentially permanent risk factor for vision loss. Pro tip: don't discard the rind. That pale white section just beneath the outer skin contains citrulline, an amino acid that supports healthy blood vessel function and may contribute to overnight nourishment of your eye tissue. Blend it into a smoothie or lightly pickle it if you're feeling adventurous. Number 5, black currants. Tiny, deeply purple, easy to overlook at the grocery store. But when it comes to shielding your eyes, especially in low-light conditions, black currants are quietly extraordinary. The specific problem they address is retinal microinflammation and restricted blood flow to the optic nerve. Over time, that ongoing low-grade inflammation progressively blurs your sight, creates halos or glare around lights at night, and produces worsening eye strain in dimly lit environments. These are problems that a stronger prescription simply cannot resolve. What makes black currants so effective is their exceptional anthocyanin content. Anthocyanins are the deep pigments that give these berries their characteristic color. Inside the eye, they accomplish multiple things simultaneously. They suppress inflammation, support blood vessel dilation, and help restore rhodopsin, the visual pigment responsible for your eye's capacity to shift from bright to dark environments. The clinical research behind this is genuinely robust. A randomized, placebo-controlled trial involving glaucoma patients found that 50 milligrams of blackcurrant anthocyanins taken daily over 24 months significantly improved blood flow to the optic nerve head and surrounding retinal zones, while meaningfully slowing the deterioration of visual field compared to placebo. That's a substantial finding. A separate pilot study in patients with normal tension glaucoma found that blackcurrant anthocyanins boosted retinal circulation without altering eye pressure and helped normalize levels of endothelin, a compound implicated in blood vessel constriction, pointing to genuine neuroprotective potential even in people without a diagnosed condition. There's also mounting evidence that blackcurrant anthocyanins accelerate dark adaptation, the speed at which your eyes transition from bright to dim lighting. For older adults who struggle with nighttime driving or moving between differently lit spaces, that's directly and practically relevant. How to use it. Fresh black currants are difficult to track down in most supermarkets. Look instead for a standardized blackcurrant anthocyanin extract at around 50 milligrams daily, taken in the evening alongside the other fruits. For better absorption, pair it with a small serving of healthy fat such as a few walnuts, or a source of vitamin C like a slice of orange. Nutritional synergy genuinely makes a difference here. Number 4, blueberries. Here's the part that catches most people off guard. The majority of us are eating blueberries in a way that actually neutralizes a significant portion of their eye protective potential. The specific target? Oxidative damage to your photoreceptors, those specialized retinal cells that give you the ability to focus sharply, distinguish fine detail, and adapt when the light changes. Years of UV exposure accumulate like layers of wear. Your natural antioxidant defenses gradually become thinner and less effective. Slowly, you start squinting at text, struggling in dim rooms, or asking yourself why things look blurry even with your glasses on. The active compound in blueberries is pterostilbene, chemically related to resveratrol but considerably more bioavailable. Research indicates it can cross the blood-retinal barrier and act directly on DNA-level damage in light-sensitive cells. That's a meaningful distinction from most dietary antioxidants that never actually reach the tissue they're supposed to protect. A 2023 study published in Nutritional Neuroscience found that older adults who consumed wild blueberries daily for 12 weeks showed notable improvements in visual acuity and reported significantly less eye strain while looking at screens in low-light conditions. Critical detail. Not all blueberries deliver equivalent results. The large, glossy, cultivated varieties common in most grocery stores carry measurably lower antioxidant density. Wild blueberries, the smaller, darker ones typically available in the frozen aisle, contain nearly double the concentration of active compounds. And frozen is every bit as effective as fresh. How to use them correctly. About a third of a cup of wild blueberries, 45 minutes before bed. And here's the pro tip most people get wrong. Don't pair them with dairy. The proteins in milk physically bind to anthocyanins and block absorption in the gut. Instead, lightly freeze your blueberries and then allow them to thaw before eating. That process breaks down cell walls and dramatically increases bioavailability, meaning your eyes can actually access those compounds during overnight repair. Number 3, dragon fruit. Exotic, visually striking, vivid red on the inside, and research suggests it may be one of the most effective fruits for increasing oxygen delivery to your eyes while you sleep. If you regularly wake up with heavy, fatigued eyes despite a full night of rest, this one warrants your attention. The specific problem dragon fruit addresses is retinal hypoxia, meaning your retinal tissue isn't receiving adequate oxygen during sleep. When that's happening, you can clock a full 8 hours and still wake up with dull, sluggish eyes. Peripheral vision begins to soften, colors appear flatter and less vivid, and if left unaddressed over time, the accumulated damage can be significant. The variety matters enormously here. You want deep, red-fleshed dragon fruit. The white-fleshed varieties simply don't contain what we're after. Red dragon fruit is abundant in betalains, a family of antioxidants shown in research to support nitric oxide production in blood vessels. Nitric oxide is the molecule that relaxes and widens capillaries, including the microscopic ones supplying your retina. Wider capillaries mean more oxygen and more nutrients reaching retinal tissue during deep sleep. A 2022 study published in Frontiers in Aging Biology reported that participants who consumed red dragon fruit extract for 6 weeks showed meaningful improvements in ocular circulation, contrast sensitivity, and visual field depth. In practical terms, they saw more clearly in low-light settings and reported noticeable reductions in blurry vision. How to use it. Half a red flesh dragon fruit, roughly 1 hour before bed. Pro tip almost everyone misses. Don't swallow the small black seeds whole. Chew them. Those seeds contain omega-3 fatty acids and magnesium, both of which play documented roles in retinal nerve health and overnight repair. Swallowed intact, you forfeit nearly all of that benefit. Number 2. Goji berries. Bright red, gently sweet, with over 2,000 years of use in traditional Chinese medicine specifically for eye health. And now the clinical evidence is beginning to align. The precise problem they target: macular thinning. The macula is the central zone of your retina. It's responsible for the sharp, fine detail vision you rely on for reading, recognizing faces, and perceiving color with clarity. With age, oxidative stress and diminished circulation gradually erode this tissue. That is the foundational process behind age-related macular degeneration, one of the primary drivers of permanent vision loss in older adults worldwide. What makes goji berries exceptional is their zeaxanthin content. They rank among the highest natural dietary sources of zeaxanthin on Earth. While lutein primarily protects the outer regions of the retina, zeaxanthin concentrates specifically in the macula, your center of vision. That targeted protection is clinically significant. A 2021 study published in Nutrients followed adults between the ages of 60 and 80 who consumed dried goji berries 5 days per week for 90 days. Results showed a significant increase in macular pigment optical density, a direct measure of macular protection, and not a single participant in the study showed further progression of macular degeneration over the course of the trial. For anyone concerned about losing visual independence, that outcome deserves serious consideration. How to use them. Soak 2 tablespoons of dried goji berries in warm water for about 10 minutes, then eat them roughly 30 minutes before bed. Soaking softens them and improves digestibility, which matters especially for older digestive systems. Pro tip with real science behind it. Pair your goji berries with a small square of high-quality dark chocolate, at least 85% cacao. The flavonoids in cocoa have been shown to enhance the absorption of zeaxanthin. Together, they create a synergistic effect your macula can actually put to work. Number 1. Papaya. It's not exotic, it's not expensive. You may actually have one ripening on your counter right now. But when eaten correctly, papaya goes after one of the most destructive and most overlooked processes fueling blurry vision, lens cloudiness, and early cataract formation. The specific enemy papaya targets: glycation. That's the process through which excess blood glucose attaches to proteins within your eye tissue, forming advanced glycation end products, compounds that progressively cloud your lens and degrade your retinal structure. Glycation is one of the most underappreciated contributors to age-related visual decline, and it's occurring silently and continuously in most people over 60. Papaya is rich in papain, a naturally occurring enzyme with documented anti-inflammatory and protein-modifying properties. It also delivers a potent combination of vitamins A, C, and E alongside folate, nutrients that research consistently links to tear film stability, retinal protection, and reduced oxidative stress within the eye. A 2023 study published in Clinical Gerontology found that older adults who consume papaya in the evening showed lower glycation markers in follow-up testing, along with stronger tear production and measurable gains in contrast vision within just 6 weeks. For seniors dealing with persistent dry eyes, hazy morning vision, or early-stage cataracts, those are outcomes worth taking seriously. How to use it. 1 cup of ripe papaya cubes, roughly 1 hour before going to sleep. 2 details matter here. Fresh beets processed every time, and room temperature beets cold. Pull your papaya out of the refrigerator at least 30 to 60 minutes before eating. Cold temperatures suppress enzyme activity, and you want papain operating at full capacity when it reaches your digestive system. Don't pair it with dairy for the same absorption-blocking reason we covered with blueberries. Pro tip: squeeze fresh lime juice over your papaya just before eating. The vitamin C in the lime meaningfully amplifies your body's uptake of vitamin A. Your eyes receive more of what they actually need, and honestly, it tastes considerably better too. 5 rules you must follow. Now, before we close out, here are 5 rules I need you to hear, because without these, you could eat every fruit on this list and still leave most of the benefit on the table. Rule 1: keep calcium away. If you eat your papaya or blueberries shortly after milk, yogurt, or calcium-fortified cereal, you are actively undermining your body's ability to absorb lutein and zeaxanthin. Research has shown that high-calcium meals consumed alongside antioxidant-rich fruits can cut the absorption of key eye nutrients by up to 30%. Allow at least 90 minutes between any dairy and your evening fruit. Treat it as a standalone snack separate from your main meal. Rule 2: always include a small amount of healthy fat. The majority of the critical nutrients in these fruits are fat-soluble. Your body cannot fully take them in without fat present. A small handful of walnuts, a teaspoon of flaxseed oil, or a few slices of avocado eaten alongside your fruit can enhance absorption by more than 50%, according to published research. Same food, dramatically better delivery to your eye tissue. Rule 3: wash gently. This surprises many people. Aggressive scrubbing under forceful running water strips away a meaningful portion of the surface antioxidants, particularly on blueberries and black currants, where the most protective compounds are concentrated near and within the skin. Rinse lightly under cool water, pat dry, and wash immediately before eating, not hours ahead of time. Rule 4: room temperature, not cold. Refrigeration suppresses enzyme activity in several of these fruits, most critically papain in papaya. Below certain temperatures, these enzymes lose their functional potency. Take your fruit out 30 to 60 minutes before eating. Let it reach room temperature so your body can extract the maximum benefit when you consume it. Rule 5: timing is everything. Eat your fruit 60 to 90 minutes before going to bed. Too early, and the nutrients are metabolized and cleared from your system before your eyes enter their primary repair window. Too late, and active digestion interferes with the deep sleep your eyes need to actually carry out that repair work. Hit that window, and you are giving these compounds the best possible opportunity to perform what the research indicates they're capable of. Wrapping it all up. Deteriorating vision is not simply an unavoidable consequence of growing older. It is frequently the result of specific, identifiable processes unfolding within your eye tissue: oxidative damage, chronic inflammation, compromised circulation, glycation, and a growing body of evidence suggests that certain fruits, consumed at the right time and in the right way, can meaningfully support your eye's natural overnight restoration processes. Think about reading without squinting, driving after dark without white-knuckling the steering wheel, waking up in the morning and actually seeing clearly within minutes, looking at the people who matter most to you and taking in every detail. That's ultimately what this is about. Not just sharper sight, but your independence, your confidence, your quality of life. I want to hear from you now. If your vision became noticeably clearer tomorrow morning, what's the very first thing you'd want to look at? Your family? A sunset? The view from your garden? Leave your answer in the comments. I read every single one, and I genuinely mean that. If today's content was useful to you, hit the like button and subscribe for more evidence-informed, natural approaches to protecting your vision and your overall health as you age. And please share this with someone over 60 in your life. You may genuinely make a meaningful difference for them. This is Dr. Eric Cenat. Take care of your eyes. They are absolutely irreplaceable. And I will see you in the next one.